My boss said we're all family here, so I started treating him like my actual father. I work at a small marketing company and my boss Kevin uses "we're all family here" every time he needs free labor. The final straw was when he called me at 9:30 p.m. on a Friday, demanding I drive to his house to feed his dog because he was at a work dinner. When I hesitated, he said, "Come on, we're family, right?" I went, drove 35 minutes, fed his anxious German shepherd who knocked over a side table, and drove home. Kevin texted, "Thanks, man," at midnight. No apology, no gas money. I grew up with a manipulative father who used guilt to get whatever he wanted, so I recognized Kevin's playbook immediately. When I complained to my actual dad, he laughed and said, "If you're family, start treating him like family." Something clicked. Monday morning, I walked into Kevin's office. "Hey, Dad," I said casually. He looked confused. "What did you call me?" I sat down. "Dad, we're all family. You're the authority figure. Anyway, I need to borrow $200 until Friday. Car registration's due." Kevin's face twitched. "That's not how this works." I kept my expression neutral. "Why not? My actual dad helps me out. That's what family does." He stumbled through excuses about professional boundaries. I nodded like I was hurt. "So we're not actually family then? Just seemed weird since you used it to get me to drive 40 minutes to feed your dog." The next week, Kevin asked me to stay late. I said sure, then added, "Can I borrow your car this weekend? Mine's making noise. Dad always lets me take his truck." Kevin laughed nervously. When he realized I was serious, he got flustered. "I can't lend you my car." I tilted my head. "But you can ask me to stay until 9 p.m. for free?" I started calling him Pops everywhere. "Hey, Pops, got a sec?" Other people thought it was hilarious. Kevin couldn't tell me to stop without explaining why the family thing only went one direction. After 10 days, he pulled me aside. "Stop with the dad and Pops thing." I had been documenting everything. "You've said we're family 8 times in 2 weeks." He said that was different. "How?" No answer. Then Kevin sent a team email saying we needed to come in Saturday morning. No overtime pay. He ended with, "I know my work family will come through." I replied all, "Sounds good, Pops." Saturday morning, I showed up at his actual house at 7:45 with donuts. His wife answered in a robe, confused. "Can I help you?" I smiled. "I'm here for the thing with Kevin." She called upstairs and Kevin came down panicking. "What are you doing here?" His wife looked at him. "You have a meeting? You're taking Amy to soccer at 9. Kevin said quickly, "It's at the office." He got confused. I played along. "Oh man, sorry. Anyway, Pops, can I grab $40 for gas?" His wife's face shifted. "Pops?" Kevin shoved money at me. "Just go to the office." I heard his wife starting in as I left. Monday. Kevin called me into HR. Linda said I'd been inappropriate, showing up at his home uninvited. I pulled out my phone. I have 43 documented instances where Kevin used family language to request unpaid work. 12 were direct to me. I showed the screenshots, including the dog incident. I was operating under his stated policy. Was I wrong? Linda scrolled through everything. The home visit was inappropriate. I nodded. I agree. And asking employees to work unpaid hours using emotional manipulation is also inappropriate. Linda told me to maintain boundaries, but said she was reviewing overtime policies with the owners. 2 weeks later, Kevin's wife got suspicious after my Saturday visit and checked his credit cards. She found he'd been taking Aisha from design to expensive lunches weekly, expensing them as client development, even though Aisha doesn't do client work. 7 restaurants, always for 2. She showed up at the office and lost it in the lobby. Everyone heard her yelling about how he claims they're broke but spends $100 weekly on lunch with his coworker. Kevin said it was networking. She wasn't buying it. "You guilt these people into being your work family while playing around behind my back?" The owners audited Kevin's expenses and found he'd been loose with business spending. They also discovered he'd been having people work way more unpaid hours than they knew. Kevin got demoted 3 weeks ago. He's not managing anyone now. New manager's first rule was no family metaphors in workplace communication.